Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, Democratic hopeful Bernie Sanders will not make it to a planned campaign event at CSUB today as he recovers in the hospital. But his campaign will still be on campus. We'll explain.
Trouble in Washington as the impeachment inquiry continues to grow. New claims come out the vice president was part of the effort to pressure Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden.
She's known as the placenta girl. This morning, meet the local mom expanding her business beyond Kern County and even scoring celebrity moms as clients. This is Thursday, October 3rd, 2019. Good morning. Great to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. Beautiful morning out there, but it's not going to be quite as chilly.
Yeah, well, noticeably different today.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even need the jacket, really.
But it still feels great.
It still feels great, but it's not like you don't need the jacket today. Although if you're some people, like my dad, he's going to want the jacket for sure. Because he just gets cold even in the summertime.
Yeah, we're 3 degrees warmer this morning than yesterday morning right now. And yesterday's high, we thought we'd be reaching 80, but we hit 78. Our normal high this time of year is 85 degrees, so not there yet. As we take a look at the temperature right now, we're at 55 degrees, so a little bit warmer than yesterday morning under a calm wind right now. As we take a look at the hour by hour, I do expect temperatures to fall near 53 at 7 a.m., 73 by lunchtime, so nice and comfortable there. And then by 3 o'clock, we'll be right near 79. For the mountains, 32 degrees currently, so a little warmer than the upper 20s we were seeing yesterday morning. We have a light wind for you out of the west-northwest at 3, and as we take a look at the winds today, I do expect them to pick up into the Kern County mountains this afternoon into the evening, and that will be from Lake Isabella through Tehachapi and also east into the desert. Hour by hour, mid-30s by 7 a.m., and then throughout the afternoon, we'll be right near 70. I'll have much more on your weather in just a little bit, but first, let's see how the morning commute is going. We're going to send that over to Alex.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Taking you outside for the first time this morning to the 99 at Airport Drive, and it's looking pretty clear on that side of town. Everything else around the county looking great. To start off your what is today? Thursday morning. We'll have another check of your commute coming up in about 15 minutes.
New this morning, Senator Bernie Sanders won't make it to a campaign event at CSUB today, but his campaign still plans to hold a smaller event. The senator is recovering in the hospital after doctors discovered a blocked artery and had to put 2 stents in. Sanders was scheduled to be at CSUB today as part of a tour of California colleges geared toward reaching out to Latino students. Though he won't be there, a smaller event is still happening from 3:30 to 5 this afternoon in the administration quad. The Sanders campaign released video of the closed-to-press event in Las Vegas where the senator showed uncharacteristic signs of fatigue. In the video, you can see Sanders leaning on the podium set up for him a number of times. It's out of character for the Vermont senator, who usually paces the stage and rarely stays in one place. At one point, Sanders asked his deputy campaign manager for a chair just as he was beginning to take questions from the audience.
Well, Ari, can you do me a favor? Where's Ari? Give me a chair up here for a moment. Let me sit down here. It's been a long day here. That chair works. Good.
As we mentioned hours later, the 78-year-old Sanders ended up in the hospital with a blocked artery and 2 stents put in. A senior advisor to the Sanders campaign said the senator is conversing and in good spirits. He'll be resting up for a few days, and his events and appearances are canceled until further notice.
2 people are dead after a crash in southwest Bakersfield. It happened just after 8 o'clock last night. Police say a motorcycle was headed east on Wilson Road when a car turned left in the front of the bike and the 2 collided. A man and woman on the motorcycle died at the scene. BPD says it doesn't appear alcohol or drugs were factors in the crash. The woman driving the car is cooperating with police as the investigation continues. A wild chase started in the Antelope Valley and ended in Kern County. The CHP says it started when a man and a woman carjacked a pickup truck driver. The man sped through remote areas of Lancaster, Palmdale, and Tehachapi, at times driving in excess of 100 miles per hour. After he crashed the pickup, he jumped into an empty CHP cruiser and just took off. About an hour later, the chase ended in Rosamond. The driver was not able to get the cruiser over a curb and spun out. Officers arrested him, and he now faces several charges, including theft of a police vehicle, carjacking, and assault. The woman passenger got away.
17 and counting. Health officials confirm another death associated with vaping. The latest case is out of Alabama. There are now more than 800 confirmed cases of severe lung illness linked to vaping. Health officials are still trying to figure out why, but they're looking into vaping products that contain THC. At least 2 people in Kern County are hospitalized with vaping-related illnesses.
Meantime, Utah is temporarily restricting the sale of e-flavored cigarettes. General tobacco retailers will be temporarily banned from selling them, but the ban won't affect specialty retailers. As Christina Flores reports, the state is concerned about a rise in lung injuries that could be linked to vaping.
How's it going?
At the Quality Quick Stop convenience store, manager Eddie Nasir had no idea about the emergency order to post a sign and remove flavored vape products from his shelves until we asked him.
I am surprised.
But because he says vaping products are not his bread and butter.
I sell all sorts of things, from everything from coffee, convenience store goods, to sporting goods.
He's not worried about losing business. He put up the sign and took down all the flavored vape products.
I can completely understand.
Any store that chooses not to comply is in violation of state law, and they can be fined for that.
Ryan Bartlett with the Utah Department of Health says the emergency order comes after 71 Utahns ended up with severe lung illness after vaping.
Utah has more cases per capita than any other state.
Although the people who became sick vaped illegal THC, and that's the suspected cause of the illnesses, most reported they started vaping with flavored juices. So the health department says flavored juices are banned for 120 days.
So we feel that by putting this issue in effect, we'll keep the flavored nicotine products out of their hands and hopefully prevent them from moving on to vaping THC products.
Business owners who sell vape products say that doesn't make sense.
This is like basically take a, theoretical scenario here. Kids are dying from cocaine, so let's ban alcohol.
Juan Bravo says flavored juices didn't make anyone sick. A better approach is to keep all vape products away from minors.
Keep vapor products in places in which you have to be at least 19 years of age to enter.
New information about those oil seeps at the Simrick oil field in McKittrick. 17 News has learned the state has fined Chevron nearly $3 million for alleged violations related to the seeps. The field has been the site of several surface expressions. That's when water, steam, and oil are forced to the surface, likely as the result of steam operations beneath the ground. Surface expressions became illegal earlier this year under new regulations adopted by the Department of Conservation's Division of Oil, Gas, and Geothermal Resources. The state says it fined the oil giant because of risks that came from the leaks. The state also doesn't want Chevron to benefit from the sales of the 1.25 million gallons of fluid that have flowed to the ground since the seepage began in May. Chevron released a statement reading, Chevron takes very seriously its responsibility to operate safely and in a manner that is protective of public health, the communities where we operate, and the environment. We have made significant progress working with United Command to clean up the impacted area, which is nearly complete. The statement goes on to say Chevron remains committed to preventing any future seeps.
The China Lake Naval Air Weapons Station is still getting back online in the wake of 2 massive earthquakes. The base suffered upwards of $5 billion in damage from the July 4th and 5th quakes, but the base is running explosive operations today, a sign that business is getting back to usual. During the operation, base personnel and people living nearby will hear loud booms and see smoke. The operation is scheduled to happen sometime between 9 and 2 today.
And still ahead this morning on Sunrise, one local mom is using ancient medicine to make major business.
The reason some women are now consuming one particular organ after giving birth.
We want to bring you some breaking news out of Paris. That's where a police officer is dead and another is hurt after an attack inside the city's police headquarters across from Notre Dame Cathedral. Police say a man armed with a knife attacked the officers before he was shot and killed. French media says the country's interior minister and the Paris prosecutor were on their way to the scene. Of course, we'll continue to track this story for you and bring you updates as we learn more.
5:18 now. Cal State Bakersfield wants you to come to its edible garden today to help honor the clean air movement. The university is going to plant 20 water-friendly fruit trees. They are supposed to yield nearly 30,000 pounds of produce over the next decade. It will all go to the CSUB food pantry, which serves about 500 students, staff, and faculty each week. The planning slated for 5:30 to 7:30 tonight in the garden on the southeast corner of campus. It's free, and there will also be free food from Better Bowls.
Millions of dollars in improvements are coming to the Kaiser Permanente Sports Village. The city of Bakersfield was just awarded a $3 million grant by the Land and Water Conservation Fund. It calls for the construction of 5 new youth football fields at the sports complex, along with a restroom, concession stand, parking lots, and sports field lighting. The grant requires the city to match the grant with $3 million of its own, which will come from Measure N funds. The improvements are slated to begin next fiscal year.
Pickleball is popping. Now the pros are coming to Green Acres Pickleplex for a national tournament to help local firefighters. Organizers say pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America. The Central Valley Classic, presented by Brand New Day, is this Friday through Sunday. This is the 3rd tournament National Pickleball has organized this year. The first 2 were in Santa Monica and Glendale. All proceeds will benefit the IAFF Local 1301 Firefighters Union.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
When Google is rolling out more tools for users to control their privacy settings, YouTube users will be able to set their search and viewing histories to auto-delete after a set period of time. And Google Maps will have an incognito mode. That means a user's movements will not be recorded when it's turned on. Google also says people will be able to delete their voice histories from artificial intelligence system assistant using a voice command. It is also adding a way for users to check their passwords via a password manager to make sure they are all still secure. Using an ATM will cost you a lot more than it did 20 years ago. A new survey by Bankrate.com says the average surcharge that ATM operators charge non-customers to withdraw cash rose 2% over the past year to $3.09. But the average fee charged by the customer's own bank for using an foreign ATM dipped to $1.63. The average total cost for an ATM withdrawal still hit a record $4.72. That's up more than 30% in the last decade. College aid season is now underway, and the free application for federal student aid, also known as FAFSA, is now available. And education officials say fill it out as soon as possible because some awards are first come, first served. Whitney Wild has a closer look at some tips for both students and parents.
It's that time of year again. College aid season opened October 1st, and education officials say fill out your application as soon as possible. Even if your family might not qualify for need-based aid, sometimes schools have different merit-based scholarships. And schools use the federal form to determine most aid. Another reason to submit the form ASAP, 13 states award financial aid on a first-come, first-served basis. So if you're in one of these states, then get that form online or fill it out on the app My Student Aid. Experts say there are simpler ways to get this done, like the free website called Frank, which has streamlined the process. Current and prospective college students have until the end of June to submit their FAFSA, but deadlines vary depending on your state and college. Experts recommend you do your research to make sure you submit the FAFSA on time. Experts say the biggest challenge when filling out the FAFSA is the number of questions. There are 100 of them. But remember, it's all for free cash for college. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Whitney Wild.